Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to see how we can create a real-time clock using JavaScript. And before starting this video, let's have a quick demo of the clock which we are going to build in this video. So this is the demo and this is the clock which we are going to build, and you can see it's very accurate and real time. You can see right now it's like 9:40:41. Now you can see here also it's saying like 21:41 in the bottom, you can see. Okay, and all the things are like real time. It's very much synced to the our actual watch. Okay, so this thing we are going to build using JavaScript. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing so you won't miss any future content. Now let's start the video. Yes. So as you can see on my screen, I have created one folder, and in that folder we have all the basic files ready, which is CSS, HTML and JavaScript files. And I have the HTML structure already ready in index.html. If you can see here, this is the HTML structure. I'll explain you what exactly we are doing there. And let's change the title to real-time clock. And now I'll going to open this in this previewer. Okay, so now you see we are just getting like 1 to 12 the hours we are getting here. And let's see how exactly the HTML is working. Basically we have one container. In that container we have a clock. Okay, so this is a clock div. Inside that we have all the spans 1 to 12 as we have the 12 hours. Okay, and you can see we have class names. Okay, two different class names we have. One is common, which is clock hours, and one is like clock hour 1, clock hour 2. So because we have to position it at different levels. Okay, so that's why we have different classes. But the first class is say similar because the font size and other CSS will be similar. That's why we have clock hour same in every hour. Okay, so this is it. This is the HTML simple structure we have. And now let's see how we can do the CSS. Yes. So I have our index.css file here, and I have linked this file to this HTML file, and also I have opened this into our browser. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to start doing the CSS. The first thing in CSS, we know what we can do. We'll apply the universal CSS margin as 0 and padding as 0, and then box sizing will be the border box. Okay, so this is what it's going to apply first, and then we'll target the container class. Okay, so we want it as the clock should be in center. Also the container, we need some color as well. Okay, so I'll take background as hash 12 12 12. So this is the color we are going for, and you see this color is applied here, but we need to have a full height. Okay, so I'll say width 100% and height as 100 VH, so we can have full height. And then what we can do here is we can apply display flex and justify content center and align item as well center, because we want to center the clock. Okay, so after you apply these three CSS, it will going to make it the child component center. Okay, child element. Okay, now you see numbers are coming here. Okay, these are numbers like the, it's also the black color, that's why it's not visible, but we'll make it visible. Okay, so now let's target the clock, and here we can apply the CSS for the clock. Okay, so I want the width to be 500 pixel as well as the height. Okay, to be 500 pixel, and background color we can apply like white color, which is hash FFF, or you can say directly white. Both will going to work. And then we'll need border radius 50% because we want the clock to be circle. Okay, now you see we got this circle here. Okay, now as you can see here, we have some shades or shadows and all on on clock. Okay, so that we can apply using box shadow. So let's see how we can do that first. Okay, so what I will do here is I'll do box shadow, and I'll say inset. Okay, why we are using inset, I'll tell you. Okay, or let's see, before that let's add this shadow. So I'll say 50 pixel, and we need RBGA because we need some opacity as well. Okay, so that's why, so 0.8. Okay, So now if you do directly, it will going to apply the box shadow outside, okay, outside of this particular clock or element, okay. But we need inside, okay, we need inside. So that time what you can do is, before this you set, you write inside, okay. That time it will apply inside this, okay. Earlier it's not this one, okay. Earlier it's completely white, okay. So if I add this, some black shades are coming inside this, okay. If you want, you can increase that as well, let's say 80. Now you see it's increased little bit, okay. So this is how you can do that. Let's say for now 50 pixel. And one more what I want is, in the outside also I want some shadow. So that in that case what you can do is, you can have comma inside this, okay. You can't directly have one more box shadow and you can apply it, because the last one will going to apply, okay. The first one will not going to apply in the CSS, that's why. So what you can do here is, you can have comma and say 0 0, 10 pixel only I need, RBGA, and I need white color, okay. So for that I can take 255, which is white color code, and 0.8, okay. And if I go back, now you see in the outside also I'm getting this white color shadow, okay. So now as we have applied for the clock, now we have to set all these numbers to their places, okay. So before doing that, what we can do is, we can copy the clock hour, which is a common class for everyone, okay. We can have that and we can apply some CSS, such as like font size, we can say 54 pixel, and font weight, let's say 600 pixel, okay, 600, okay. Now you see this is how we are getting the numbers. And in order to set this, we need to use position absolute, okay. If we are using position absolute for the child element, we need to make it parent element as position relative, okay. Because if we don't do that, it will consider body as a parent, okay. The position absolute, if I do this here, position absolute top 0, okay, suppose top 0. Now you see everyone are here, okay. So why? Because by default it will take care, like body they will consider as parent, okay. So what we can do is, we can have position relative to the clock, okay. And now you see it's coming here, it is coming here because this is a box only, that's why we are making it radius, but in background it will be box only, that's why it's coming here. But we'll make it, okay, we'll make it properly. And I will just remove top, because all the positions will be different, okay. So first thing, let's set the 12th hour, okay, because let's come like plus and plus way and then the cross diagonals, okay. So what I'll do is 12, what we can have is, from top I have the things here, from top we can take 5 pixel, and from left we can take 220 pixel, okay. So if I save and go back, now you see it's coming into this center, okay. And one more thing we have to do here is, we have to apply some width as 60 pixel and text alignment as center, okay. Because I'll tell you why. Because sometimes what will happen is, these are 2-digit numbers, okay, and we'll have the 1-digit numbers as well. So it should be set properly on their places, okay. So let's have the boxes as well. For now, normal border, I'll say red, in order to see how exactly the boxes are coming for each of the hours, okay. So now you see 12 is set properly here. Now we can set the 6th, okay, which is opposite to this, okay. So if we say opposite, what we can do is, we will have the same thing, okay. Only this top and bottom or left and right will going to change based on their positions, okay. So here what I can do is, I will write bottom 5 pixel and left will be 220 pixel only, okay. And now if I go here, it will set it exactly the opposite to the 12th, okay. And now what we can do is, we have to set 3, okay, which will be going to be here, okay. So that time we'll have some other things and we can do similar to this, okay. So let's do the third one. And for this, what are the things we have is 3. From top there is 220, and from right 20, okay. So top we'll say 220, and right side we have 20, okay. And let's go back and let's see, yeah, now you see it's coming here. Now we have to set the 9, okay, which will be the same, but this instead of right will have the left, okay. So here is the 9, and let's have top 220 and left will say 20, okay. And if you see, yeah, now you see it's coming up properly. Now similar to this, we can set 1 2 and we can have the other things get it done, okay. So let's do that as well. So let's take 1 here, and for 1 we'll have from top 30 and from right 120, okay. So we'll take is like this, 30 and from right 120 pixel, okay. Now if we see, we are getting 1 here. Similar to this, we can do the other like opposite ones, okay, which is here 11, and here we can say fifth one, okay. So let's set the 11th one first, and here what we can do is top we can take 30 pixel only, but instead of right we'll have the left here, okay, which will going to be like 120. And if you see, it set it up properly, okay. Now for the one we'll have opposite to that, here is 5, okay. So that we can set now. So let's take the fifth one, and we are doing with respect to 1, okay. So now what will happen is, we instead of top we'll have bottom, which will be 30 pixel, but from right it will be 120 pixel only, okay. Now you see it's coming here, okay. Similar to this, we either we can go with the 5 and have this 7th here, or we can take 11 and with respect to that we can have this 7th one, okay. So let's have a 7, and I'll go with respect to 11. Either way it's fine, okay. So if we have top, then we can say bottom. We'll copy this thing, and here we can say bottom, okay. And now you see we got the 7 as well. Now if we set the 2, we can set the other numbers as well, okay. Now let's see what is the 2. We have from top 110 pixel. Let me copy the class name, and from top 110 pixel, and from right side it will be 50 pixel, okay. 50 pixel we have, and we can see, yeah, 2 is also coming. Then we can set the opposite one, which is 10. Let's copy that class name, and we can copy this similar things, okay. And we can just change this to left 50, and yeah, now we got this one. And then we have the remaining one is 4 and 8, okay. So let's have 4 first, and what we can do is we can say, similar to this, we can copy this particular css for the 2, and instead of top I'll say bottom, okay. And now you see 4 is coming here, and lastly we have 8, which we can take it like this, and then we can apply the css whatever we have for the 10, but it should be bottom, okay. And if I save it, now you see all the numbers are listed here. And let me remove the border so we can see this properly. Now you see, our half of the clock is ready. Now we need to have the hour hand, minute hand, and the second hands into this, okay. So as we all set these numbers, 1 to 12 hours, now it's time to have the hours and minutes and the seconds hand, okay. So let me go back, and you see I have added 3 more divs, and inside that there will be a span, okay. Span tags I have it, and I have given the names as hour hand, minute hand, and the second hand, okay. Second hand, okay. So it is in the clock only. This is a clock div, and inside that only I have given, and for this as well we are going to use position absolute, okay. So positions are very recommended for this whenever you are doing this, because it's very much needed here. And let's design the our hand first, okay. So I'm copying the class name from this, and here what we can do is, first thing we'll take for now is like width as 30 and height as 30 for now, and we'll just need to fix it in the center, okay. So now you see it's coming here, okay. If you can see here the black box, we need to set it to the center, okay. So for that, what I can do is I can use position absolute, and from top I'll say 50%, and from left as 50%. Okay. But once I do that, this is not properly centered. We have to transform it to here. Okay. So we'll use transform property and we'll say translate minus 50% comma minus 50. Okay. So these four properties can help you center something using position. Okay. And if I save this, now you see it's coming into the center. Okay. Now what I have to do is we need to create a hand over here. Okay. So that we are going to do using span tag. Okay. So this will be positioned to the center only, for center to the clock, but the hand will be the span. Okay. So that's how it is. And now what we can do is with this class we can target the span tag. Okay. And this background color I'll remove it for now, so we can't see anything here, or I'll say for now border here. Okay. 1 pixel solid, so we can see something like this. And span tag, what we can do is we will say width as 20 pixel, and height we can say it as 120 pixel. Okay. And background we need to have black only, so I'll say 000. And if I save it, you see nothing is coming here because we have to make it display block, which is we have to make it block element, then we can see this. Okay. And now you see we need to set it here, so it should come from here and go here. Okay. So that we have to do again position absolute, and from top we have to take whatever height you are providing. Okay. 120 I have provided, minus 120 I have to take in order to go outside of the box. Okay. And from left I'll say 5 pixel, and if I go back, now you see this is how our hand is coming. Okay. So it will look like this. Now we have to just curve it from the top. Okay. Not from the bottom. So what I can do is here I'll say border radius and 50%, 50%. These are the top two ones, top two corners, and 0 0, these are the bottom corners. Okay. Now you see this is how we are getting it. Okay. If you want, we can increase the height as well. It's up to you what exactly you want to keep. I want to keep only 120 for now. So this is how it's looking. I'll just remove the border for now. Okay. So it should not be anything there. Okay. So this is how it will look actually now. And then same thing we have to do for the minute hand. Okay. So let's do that as well. Yes. So for minute and second hand, I have created the CSS. It's very similar. For the divs, we have the same CSS. That's why I have written like comma and then added comma and added. I don't want to reuse this, like I want to reuse it. I don't want to like write multiple times. That's why I have written like this way. And then what we have is for our span, we have saw like we width as well 20 pixel and height is this one, and the CSS will be remain same. But in the span, what I have did is width I have reduced to 15 pixel and height will be increased to 16. Okay. And then the top will be like similar to whatever height we have, that will be there. And border radius I have reduced to 40 40 instead of 50 50. And in the span tag I have changed width to 10. Okay. Again I have reduced by 5 pixel, but height is increased 190, and also top will be minus 190, and background I have changed to red. Okay. And border radius will be 30%, but other things are very similar. Block and absolute, that should be there, so that's why it's there. Okay. And if I go back, now you see this is how it's looking. Okay. And now what we have to do is, in order to change the positions, okay, so what we have to do is with the JavaScript we need to move this. Okay. So we need to see how much exactly we have to rotate it. Basically we have to rotate the diffs. Okay. So that it should go this way. Okay. So anti-clockwise, clockwise, whatever it's there, we have to do that. Okay. So that we're going to do, but you see this is how it's looking, but we want to have some red color circle over here so that it should hide this thing. Okay. It should not show this way. Okay. So for that, what we can do is I'll say one more here. Div I'll take and say circle clock, and for this we can apply same CSS. Okay. Same CSS we're going to apply. So but width and height will going to same, so that's why let's take it different way. So let's say 50 pixel and height will be 50, and background I'll say red. Okay, and you see there we are getting that, and instead of 50 let's take 40, and yeah, this is okay, and border radius will be 50% because we need circle this way. And now we have to center it, so that I'll just copy the CSS to center this and paste it here. And now you see this is how it's looking. Okay, now our clock is ready. Now what we have to do is we need to add JavaScript so that it should work. Okay, it should sync to the our real clock. Okay, so that we are going to do now. Yes. So now let's see how we can make it sync to our actual watch. For that, in JavaScript, let's take a reference of all the hands, okay, hour, minute, and seconds. Okay. So for that, what I'll do is I'll create an ID. I'll say hour, and I'll say create one more ID and minute, and one more ID for seconds, and will be seconds. Okay. And let's add it here. So constant hours equal to document dot get element by id, and here I'll say hour. Okay, and then the constant minutes, uh, similar way, and it will be minutes. Okay, and then last one will have seconds, and we'll take it in similar way. Okay, so now we got the reference. Okay, now what exactly we have to do is we have to first link to this, and using the date object. Okay, date object we saw in the few videos back in JavaScript playlist, that how we can use the date object, and how with that how we can get hours, minutes, and seconds, and any like most of the things. Okay, so that we saw. Okay, so now we'll see how exactly we can use it here. Okay, so first thing, how we can create a date object. So I'll say constant current date equal to new date. Okay, so in this date object we'll have a date as well as a time. Okay, so that we can take it first. Let's see how it's working. Okay, so current date dot get hours. Okay, so let's see if it is working fine or not. So let's go back and let's open the console by F12, and you see it's showing 22 here, and we can see here 22, it's properly synced and working. Let's see the minutes as well. Get minutes, and yeah, it's also working here. Okay, so yes, so the date object is exactly working fine. Now exactly we have to see what exactly we have to do. Okay, so it's simple. Okay, so we have to rotate this particular thing. Okay, we have to rotate the hands. Okay, based on the hours we are getting. Okay, so how we have to rotate it, there is simple thing. Okay, we have the styles, we have the reference of the hand. Okay, we can just rotate it wherever we want, but we have to see based on hours what degrees, how much degrees we have to rotate. And same thing with the minute, and the same thing with the seconds. Okay, so minutes, how it is working is like 60 minutes we have to think. Okay, so here too again, all the anti-clockwise and comes here, it will be like 60. So 60 divided by 360 we have to do, like 360 divided by 60 minutes. So whatever results we are getting there, that we have to apply as the rotation. Okay, for the minute and second. But for the hours it will be 12, so 360 by 12, which is 30 degrees. Okay, so each 30 degree means 1 hour. Okay, similar to that, all the, if we combine all the other things, it will automatically work that way. Okay, so it might like not making sense right now, but it is. Okay, so what exactly you have to do, you have to check. Okay, so hours are 12, so we have to what we have to do is 360 degrees it will going to rotate. Okay, so just that we have to divide it with the 12 hours, 360 by 12, and whatever result we are going to get, each hour will going to add the degrees into that. Okay, so let's suppose 1 hour, which is means 30 degrees. Okay, 2 hours 60 degrees. This is the way we have to do it. Okay, so let's see how exactly we can work with that, and how we can add it here. Okay, yes. So now let's see how we can add the or we can rotate our hours and or minutes and. Okay, so first thing what we have to do is we have to change the styles. Okay, based on the how much degrees we are getting. So right now we have the current date. So let's start with the hours. Okay, hours that style dot transform. Okay, why transform? Transform will give us rotate property. So with that we can rotate it. Okay, we just need to provide how much degrees we want to rotate it. Okay, so here what I can do is we can use after that double quotes and whatever properties we want to provide. Firstly, we have to provide the transform property, which is this one, translate property, sorry, because it is making our hours, hand, minutes, and seconds at center. Okay, if we don't provide it and directly we provide rotate, it will going to break this. Okay, so that's why we have to provide this first, and then we have to provide the rotate property. And now you see, as we are using double quotes, we can't directly provide the variable inside this. Okay, we have to have plus and then the continue. Okay, so here we can say degree, and before this only we have to have current date or something like this. Okay, so you see right now we have to break our string into these many parts. Okay, instead of this what we can do is we can have something like backticks which we can use in the strings, which is a very helpful thing which you, if you use it, it's something like you provide the variable inside this instead of using plus plus and all. Okay, so it's like interpolation. Okay, so now you see translate property we have used, and then rotate we can say, and here I'll say dollar and the curly braces to provide any variable. Okay, and then the degrees. Okay, how many degrees you want to provide. So here I'll say current date dot get hours, and function braces I'll just make this bigger, and then we have to multiply it with the 30. Okay, so whatever degrees will going to come from this will be applied to this particular hour hand. Okay, so let's save this. Let's go back, and now you see it's pointing to 10. Okay, so right now 22, it means 10 only. Now it's giving us proper thing. Okay, so as I said, okay, we have 12 hours, we have 360 degrees. We just need to calculate how many degrees for 1 hour. Okay, it's 30 degrees, so we just need to multiply whatever hours we are getting, and that degrees will going to be applied to this thing. Okay, and same thing for minute. Okay, so if I say minutes dot styles dot transform, and same thing we can provide, just that we have to change the this thing, and we have to say it will not be 30. Okay, we have to provide the other one based on the 60 minute. Okay, so 60, 360 rotation we have, and 60 minutes we have. So if we do that, it will going to give you 6. Okay, so if I do this, and let's go back, and now you see it's pointing to here in between 20 and 25, not 4 and 25. I'm saying by minute. So now you see it's 24, so that's why it's pointing to towards here. Okay, so this is how the minutes, hours will be like degrees. Okay, 6 for each minute. Okay, but 30 for each hour. Okay, so that's how we have to calculate it. Okay, so then we have the second. Okay, for the second it will be the same thing, whatever we are doing for the minute, it will be the same thing. So here we have to say get minutes, and here instead of seconds, sorry, seconds, we have to do this seconds, spelling and all is not matching. I'll just say get seconds. Okay, so now if I do this, it's here. I can't really see the seconds here, but this is how it is. But you see, we got it. Okay, it is totally synced to the whatever time we have currently here. Okay, if I refresh, you see the seconds are going up. Okay, but you see I am refreshing by my own like here. Okay, here I am clicking and it's refreshing, but we want it to automatically refresh, automatically update the states of it. State means the variables and whatever it is we are using here. So in order to do that, we have a method. Okay, we have a method in JavaScript which will going to be run infinitely. Okay, which we have is set interval. Okay, so set interval, what it will do is whatever delay you provide in that delay, it will going to run in again and again, and it will not going to stop ever. Okay, but set timeout will have that will going to stop for once it will going to run, but set interval is like continuously running only. Okay, so that we can apply. So this whole thing I'll just going to cut it, and I'll create set interval, and inside that we'll have a function, and it will be direct function, and then we'll have other property as how many delay, how much delay. Okay, so I'll say 100, sorry, 1000. Okay, 1000 is nothing but like what do we say, milliseconds. Okay, 1000 millisecond, which is second. Okay, 1 second. So each second we want to run this and we have to see what's going on. Okay, so now if I do this, now you see it started working, and as you can see it's completely synced to the time which we have here. Okay, so this is it. This is how we are using our JavaScript to get the real time data or the date or time here, and also we are syncing the both times. Okay, using JavaScript. Yes, so this is how we have done the our real time clock, and this is how it's looking. If you are getting doubt why we have used this transform here, you, like translate here, you can just remove and check once. It will, you see, there will be some gap. Okay, I'll just remove it from all the things, and you might see some gap. See, now here there is a space, there is a space. This has happened because of the, because we are not using the translate property properly, or you can say we are not centering the div properly using position absolute. Okay, that's why it's happening. That's why we have applied this earlier. That's why earlier it's not broken. Okay, now it's completely fixed. So this is about the clock. This is about the real-time clock using JavaScript. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and give it a like. I'll be back with more content in the next video. Thank you.